beats that. Welcome to KOIN 6 News at noon. I'm Ken Boddy.
And I'm Jenny Hansen. You know, the president did a lot in less than 24 hours, and we have team coverage to tell you all about it.
Alicia Esch was at Nike this morning as President Obama promoted a controversial trade agreement. And Lisa Balick talked with protesters who are opposed to that agreement.
But first, we start with Brent Weisberg out at Oregon's Air National Guard Base, where the president, as we saw on live TV, just departed. Brent?
Jenny and Ken, good afternoon to you. There was a little fanfare when the president took off, but he just took off, and as I kind of glance out, you can see the small speck of the Air Force, the airplane Air Force One as it leaves here, Portland, heading to South Dakota. The president's plane today was a little bit smaller than you might expect. It was not the traditional Boeing 747 that we're so used to seeing. Instead, this was a smaller aircraft because of where he is flying into South Dakota. So the president did not have any dignitaries. It was a very quick motorcade trip from Nike here to Northeast Portland. He boarded the plane, then the press corps boarded the plane, and then it taxied and then took off. So we're going to send it back to you in the studio. Of course, we'll have much more video online at KOIN.com. Ken and Jenny, back to you.
Brent, thank you. And Alicia Esch has been covering President Obama's visit to Nike all morning. Now, he's promoting the Trans-Pacific Partnership, a controversial trade agreement. Alicia has a breakdown of that agreement and what the president has to say about it.
I am here on the Nike campus where literally thousands of people have come out to hear President Obama speak about his trade deal, how it would affect Nike and Oregon at large.
Please give a huge Nike welcome to President Barack Obama.
That was the Nike welcome to President Barack Obama. He came to Portland and specifically the Nike headquarters to talk about trade through the Trans-Pacific Partnership.
Hello, Oregon!
It's a deal he says will level the playing field of trade globally and benefit American workers.
I view smart trade agreements as a vital piece of middle-class economics.
The president said that the TPP deal, as it's commonly known, would help America write the rules of trade on a global level and in turn help our businesses better compete overseas.
If we don't write the rules for trade around the world, guess what? China will.
The president did acknowledge that some Americans, even those in his own party, are skeptical about trade and what's in this deal. So I asked Suzanne Bonamici, who represents the 1st District of Oregon, what she thinks about those opposed to the deal and what she would say to them.
I would say please do your homework. Yes, I understand the concerns about past trade agreements, and I understand the concerns about manufacturing overseas.
The president spoke about 38 minutes to the crowd and ended with a nod to his Nike hosts.
So let's just do it.
This marks President Obama's 4th visit since being in office here in Portland, Oregon, and potentially the last one throughout his presidency. Of course, we'll continue to follow that for you. For more, you can always join us on KOIN.com. Reporting on Nike campus, Alicia Esch, KOIN 6 News.
All right, thank you, Alicia. And you know, there is still a lot of opposition to the president's proposal.
And that's why protesters gathered out in front of Nike this morning. Lisa Balick has that part of our team coverage. She is live in Beaverton. Lisa?
There were about 75 protesters gathered out front of Nike with signs and chanting. They hoped the president would be able to hear them, see their message, but that didn't happen. Here's why. The president's motorcade instead went up Walker Road. And instead, by going up Walker Road, they avoided the protesters. But dozens of people who don't want the trade agreement are concerned what will be shipped out are thousands of jobs to overseas production and manufacturing facilities. And they point to Nike making its products in Asia.
Every free trade deal is free for the corporations, but it's bad for employees. There's always a job loss, outsourcing of jobs.
Those against the Trans-Pacific Partnership trade agreement told me they're worried more goods would not be stamped made in America if Congress approves the agreement with 11 countries in the Pacific Rim, and they want the public to have a chance to look at the agreement before Congress votes on it. And in fact, Senator Merkley, Congressman DeFazio are against it. Now, while the president didn't hear from the protesters or see them out front, he definitely knows there is a lot of pushback. That's one of the reasons he was out here campaigning for support, because again, he doesn't even have all the Democrats in Congress in Oregon voting for it right now. Live in Beaverton, Lisa Balick, KOIN 6 News.
Thanks, Lisa. As we've said, the president is now heading to South Dakota. And with that visit, as we mentioned, He'll have gone to each of the 50 states during his presidency.
Yeah, one little girl in South Dakota should be pretty happy about his visit. A little girl named Rebecca wrote this letter to Obama 6 years ago saying her heart was broken because he had not visited the state. Now, she says South Dakota has a lot to offer, from Mount Rushmore to coyotes at the park. Rebecca is now 17, and President Obama is finally visiting. He won't have time to see Mount Rushmore. He's making a quick visit to a community college to promote his free tuition proposal.
Maybe he'll get a chance to fly over Mount Rushmore and see it on the way in.
And see those coyotes that she speaks of.
Well, I don't know if they'll be able to see
the
the coyotes. But